moya adwuma hɔ a mo bɔ nsɛm ho ban wɔ Ghana na nsɛm kɔ apro nso a afoforo anya atie na abosua bi a ɔmo so ɔmo nkrɔfoɔ afiri mu a ɔmo nim sɛ ɔmo akra ɔmo ofie so ɔmo tu kwan abakuma se from yendi na se bi ɔmo abɛka wɔ akwan mu ayare hosem from 2 a.m. ma nintimi nkatae ma boto ma ye week ankasa do mi nikentampo so me coach bi for yi ho
okay
nti madam ko bi won se wi a se bi o ayonko e we ntam na se me janoko na independent day no so na nka se me work ntampo but the follow just Friday se me san work ntampo nti akwanti obebrebe na wo mu age se so yete so na nya apomuden kakra nti hona me wa asem yi ba no anado me nya call from the national ambulance director or say na aba nti na omo frɛ other ambulance ben jema so omo mbeboa na ne tinti ni tiatia ne sɛ emse nkrofo ifri yendi a omo ba kumase yendi kumase bound bus na osane kentampo water force a ukọ tamalekwan ne so a okuru bi efrɛ ho babato ti between kentampo ne babato no ɛna emse after police barrier bi na tipa track bi emse mo tremu a tipa track bi asai esi ho tipa track na asai esi eso anwea nti trailer bi free southern sector na eko na eso tas nti emse tipa no ejina ne kwan mu nti wonu yi fa ho se ne driver bi abeye ne pepepe no but coincidentally emse tema wo yi fa ho onyan yi fa ho wie na yuton bus no so nam ne kwan mu na or try say one so save but na my auntie asem de no nti side na e face trailer no am say na why microphone nyina omote sa area no de omoko wo mu sa no
so unfortunate sir adope yet baby say but arrangement no your very self any authorities municipal authorities a working tempo there na my so far a kwan no emu ada ho police for the fire service wa ye adwuma still na no a kwan no more trouble
no ran na nyina na more grounds nti social monitoring from far more grounds be plan no pai nti no mene mo nyankasa na me phone no kura battery low nti me di si charge kura so na mo call by no nti fe na pese me wie na me sanya update no na the fact be to say 22 on the spot we do Kentampo hospital no na 23rd person so free mo so ma me repeat me call kura say a call for accident emergency center so me ba parliament me yes request no from the maybe a question when they will upgrade the municipal hospital to a teaching hospital and now if nothing at all yenya Kentampo hospital no yemma a trauma center or an accident emergency center on the fact say from Kentampo to Tamale teaching hospital the BCC will be our trauma biano you need no less than 3 hours not 3.5 hours now what you may do Tamale teaching hospital. The same way from Kentampo to Kumasi, almost the same hours, and sana what me di nipana do. Until Mrepi say, see those who died on the spot, no, we be say, and sana counting, no, say Nyamian to try there, not do no akoka, because between Tama Mondi or Mobeba, this distance, no, so I've always been calling, say we should have an accident emergency center at the Kentampo hospital. Ni a omo ho akan sebio ma menka so omo nya Kentampo kurofo ba ya ebetumi aba se akani bi ana obi foforo a wakoye ndi akodidwa a wo ba ne ho aka so wase ase nti Kentampo ni ebesi bi ya na ato Ghana man ato obi a timi gina kwanya so ba bi mo fidi eduru bia say NGOs say aban say hwan that call omo hunu as agent as possible. Because should Kwabia and and these are business people. Obia wo free srimu eba north southern sector. ana uhwem bemba omodeda ho a bra enemba enye good enough, enye good. You can say these are people holding able-bodied men. Nkrofo omugina omonanso. Breadwinners. Can you imagine the side effect? Nkola ma minimum omaje omufie. In fact, I'm just very sad. Very sad. And some fata said this modern day Ghana. Who answer medium. Seriously. Now, cars I see say that policy must move on. Say car bia on the quantum pombia sono. Say yem body MTTD ni entoi car on paper being in fact
yeah, but once upon a time, Parliament, we have not agreed to the towing levy, and still now that policy is hanging.
Oh yes, towing levy. Yeah, it's not all about Parliament, and I say generalizing. So what you say, but if we make it as a policy, no matter what Kintambook Road you anymore, there are towing cars there. Biwo magazine ho. What you say? There are other facilities. Meaning say towing car walk between Kintamponi and Techiman. What you say? Though young accept it, but there are some places the machine is needed. Until nearby when they tow the two cars. The bus will definitely be towed, the cheaper truck will be towed. But if we see it as a national issue, not living in a day, Maya, but as a national issue, no, okay, 2 weeks, I think I should charge any public.
Exactly.
You see it as a national insurance issue. You see, never in this car, young train, baby, on betting my BCC. Well, that one we must really look at it.
Yeah. But as I say, no arrangement by Anna one the Yendi municipality to also ensure say you behuna yet me identify the people involved in the accident. Families, will be in the known.
Yeah, normally no say but say like you are saying identification this morning I know the police, MTTD and other people they will try to do. Because at time big it up first be on the bottom they can know. And those who they were bordering the buses, at time this is the difficulty. Well, remember I said they did mass barrier in Kintampo some time ago. Yeah. Okay, I said just about 60 or 50 people are just or more bus crash or just or more. Now at time these are the difficulties. Now border bus are intimate take particulars of people much. And then your border bus from Yendi at time money now in free Yendi Kromo. Will be free. Zabzugo will be free. Different location at Befa Bus and for Kumasi. The system of boarding bus and Akakakra. So all these things, we don't have much information about people who board buses. And also, I think a GPRT norma. Yes, I know, man. We know seat number. This is this person. If we in our so that everybody will know. Say but you say send ya by. Obi free no one karakra no they share omunim say BBC yes.
It's such an unfortunate situation. I don't pay your mamuina no yako. Why?
Say by the close of day, they will be able to distinguish and identify some of the bodies and where they are really from.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I'm grateful. And the Honorable Joseph Kwame Kuma, and this in Rashid Ewo, Kentampo North, and Yanina Din Komono, and at dawn, Ahomachia around 2 a.m., 2 o'clock, and as accident, a sea Ewo, Kentampo Highway, so unfortunate, about 23. Persons and one more etime actually one more enkwa. Very, very sad. Very, very, very sad. But 47 after 7, hi Kessben 92.9. We are live on Facebook and what the messages efaho at the bar. You're making kind in at the Amal. Ghana is 66 years today. What are the good and fun memories I will have about your country? How well do you think you are so proud of your country? A very, very important question. We would want to ask. Numbers, 055059699, 05505679929. Now, what the messages, at the about your good will messages to the Republic of Ghana. We'll do well to as well read your messages. Now, in the Volta regional capital, the national parade will be taking place. President Akufo-Addo and the entourage in Yinano Anopay will be following up the event. Now, I feel they're better from Biano, Yatime Ama Weho. But we need to celebrate because in all the other regions and then municipalities and metros, same event is replicated across the country. And see, baby, I remember so well, sir, those days, we school Akolana. Yeah, more match pass in Libya. Now just a word of brutal because match pass in the Drew Jose and I'll be just go Atarian and Pabuavo from. Now, ya to socks white, at the amount. And see, we'll take you back memory lane. Now, we will let you know in the past how we have struggled as a country. And some Libya, former presidents, Etimi Akani Nyinano, we'll play the voices of our time. Now, I feel what to be the presidents no Aka, and the reasons why we are where we are. Up to now, we do not have economic independence. Very, very important. Sir, Yenamha, Ye Kasedi, Yinan, Yefahu, the Ebano, Minisi Kasimu, and in Shisha Yemunina. It's a sad situation, but we will still have to look at the positive aspect of it all. Now, I feel Yetimi Edin Common. And after Ziga Atinasi, stay with us.
Apart from say revenue mess up Emma or Chinchim Kotokonsano.
Oh, master.
Kwame, me real hope Ghana football, baby a Ghana football corner. Oh, Kwame, and yes, sir, and I'm say apart from say revenue Chinchim Kotokonsa Emma has to take 3 points and of course cap. Kwame, I did be Sienra I was stadium. I is so embarrassing, and I think say. It is time that we sit down as a country to revive this issue. That's a this issue.
I didn't see what Craspo said.
Me. Or maybe anas Krobia Martinaso, Regibia Martinaso. Me say the cliffhanger, the soccer Christmas of this country, which is Kotoko has fixture, the biggest fixture. Some will Kumasi, some won't. Me say that. I have watched Kotoko has game since 1980. Kwame. Yesterday,
President's Cup.
It was a league match. It was a league match, which is the toughest and the biggest fixture.
El Clasico.
Yes, our calendar. Also, bit is all Hinijan to the soccer Christmas of the country. Kwame. Now, what shall say?
Kessben.
Esaya President Cup, not President Bapak or the Guinea-Bissau president. The stadium was virtually empty. And could you believe it's there? The VIP, the VVIP, the popular stands, the ordinary stands in now. You be a gate free an hour before the game. Yet, Park and Timi Anyama. I don't get it.
Be a gate free.
Gate free. People were even fighting. Say I don't know what Treska near be a gate in the man for a room. Next time me say I had so many people. Ziga, ye be found. Me be drew honum na. Make sure mama be found. Car be found na me run inside. I go VIP. Who's I did that and I got inside. So those who expected to come and pick me, they came to meet me at the VIP stands. Kwame, it was so sad and embarrassing. Look at the good footballing that we displayed yesterday. Look at the standard of play. What is wrong with us yesterday? What a park Kotokone Hasibo. Ubachani ye adaya. We are walloping Liverpool and walloping Manchester. People's mind divided. People's mind was still on the foreign football. So as a country,
yes, to Manchester J7.
Yes, I'm on J7. That's their own. But Kwame, I wonder why say Kotoko has game because Kwame, I have watched Kotoko has games, neutral grounds. I started broadcasting as a sports pundit. But tutu coin akoye commentaries near dear Kwame. Minimum Kotoko has any city. 10 a.m. na park ayama. 12 une bebintina. Yet me close to gate. Say Kofi Kotie commentary. Kwame. Dear Naba, dear Naba. I have realized that it is time that National Communication Authority for any National Media Commission, which their institution is backed by law, start now. Say how Nigerians, any South Africa for decided this local content policy to make sure say obia we presenter oti radio so oh bonwa you should not go beyond foreign aspect. You should not go beyond 20%. You understand? Why can't we do the same to the sports? Because listen, Enkofo Kana, your league, standard in your law, your Africa, that is not the issue. The issue is that we have failed to hype our league and our players. Look at Lamb Table Boy now, Mobo. Shaboy has a for number 3, Kosa. Sheikh Mohammed Al Hassan. Look at the standard of play. Look at football. Ghana. Shaboy Yabo. Certain will combine with the best level on Besho Comoros Nation Blasters. But we sit down as a sports pandit. We sit down as a sports program. Then we dedicate 1.5 hours for the foreign football, hyping them. Or some CB was Tottenham match live. Well, name Tottenham player, no, we name the match, we name Liverpool player. But the moment to attest Akwana Sego, no, I call Wikipedia, no, I call reading the WhatsApp, then he come to say something to impress people, hyping our. Your father say foreign football. Tetenwa, me name is Swano. I've read graphic up to now. Those days, Muhammad Al Hassan, Abba Kotoko, Ofi has Abba Kotoko intensi. How many Kotoko players, Omye defenders, are central midfielders, defenders? Obufi Kotoko has. How many of them from Hasselfolk Ebayi, Setampedu Yebi, Yenya Bashuri Gambo, Yenya Kalulu Dramani, their first match against Hasselfolk, Edinesi. We failed to hype that. Hyping our players. You can even pitch our players against the foreign based players. A bit second, Division 2 wine, you say a high standard. Division 2 wine, then you the who be set. The place, local based place, let me say, as I'm called on your way, a Tomukana, Adiano, a Samuso, Abuka Campo Cra, near your boy. That thing has to be stopped, Kwame. We cannot continue to see this thing. And now, I'm a penny head the demon and yet. Come out closer, baby, and I'm to a VIP. I'm not the last president Kapno. He was happy, though he support Kotoko. But Kotoko lose your country because of the crowd. Kwame, but yesterday, who said the demeanor was bad.
Now, who can say that? My idea meet you because a man when you're the BBI politics and somebody say no, come it you. Maybe to us and another to us, but you are all kind of why careful. They were be kind of the idea. You see, sometimes duty bearers and the failing, okay? Supposedly, they are supposed to be organizing. Committee and organizers side way the sports minister has failed. So we were concerned.
Total failure. He's the total failure ever since.
You see, if we're failing, okay? GFA president were failing
total,
especially
failure.
When you have a guest of honor and deliver speech. Guinea-Bissau president in our midst. Now you see bought a cup, a tournament. A bit me a glorify, okay, Uti, a bit me a glorify your presidency, na and you nyama bem, and no na I was into the independence there, okay, and then you look at the numbers. Me stadium home Uncle Kubi, come in the whole crowd.
But I was there for some hours.
Let me cry, no, let me tell you the truth. Let me name. It was later in the night, around 7:30. Liverpool, Manchester, Boametizo. Has a Kotoko one. I was happy though, but I never heard it within the week in Amanti or baby. Okay,
a lot of people did not hear.
Yes, you look at the points. Omo football no ashewo monsano. Okay, how are they managing it? You see, we are a nation. We do not care about talent development.
My goodness,
okay? There is no encouragement in everything we do, and we end up giving up on ourselves, and that is the true fact. And Osho Mampenyi, Mahu videos, no Mampenyi videos, or Mampenyi together with Guinea-Bissau president, Lord Kwame, Charles Nite Kotegomo, or Mampenyi couldn't even walk through your friend is the peripherals of the stadium.
To get greetings.
Tatan tracks in the Munu Mampenyi and me and Antimukra and Yenchia, because and yet the thing is that and yet Nkrofo anko stadium near empty.
Yes.
Omampanyi tenants and channel sorry call here. Because you look at the whole place.
Listen, Kwame.
And you understand the fact that
he sat down.
It is just not right.
Yeah, Kwame.
The minister don't know yet.
Kwame, the minister no yet. At the end of the show, mo kwine gaka for say you be hype this game. Now let me tell you something.
And the question is, I miss a question. There are a lot of blaster stars. Yeah. Sekotokoni has. You my interest no why. Saturday, you who a 1 week and
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Our East Legon.
Yeah.
The stars are a call. Your question is that were they even aware? Say BBC because which is Andra Sunday, no. Okay? Because Osha faces are who videos money at the end. It tells you clearly as a Obia ye nadia on the bed.
Now even the police band, boy, you know. We play national anthem. Obia is your national anthem. We all sitting there in those days. You bomb gum. Nay announce see a bonus. You deny you sorry. No pack you do your boy and some. Do you sitting down? Come here, so embarrassing. But me, come. I'm particular about our football. Match football coming. Match kotokone has. Your standard of play no and yet to say the uncle 4 person or be plenty Ghana. Messi me have broken Chelsea Adriana. Despite say pitch no more boss on but to show quality football they were displaying at that day. But the TV we be heading up Adriana ba. The we have to criticize. The high players.
I'm paying ministers in the for Qatar. Echo here World Cup. We
were not able to bring anything from Qatar to this place.
They are in the country. Ministers in the crowd, MPs now, they are in the country.
And the most annoying part, and said, National Sports Authority, who rested the match, hanky, and a paper tape. A few Kwame, there's 7 and more to German Gusto. A few pa, say, Osa Whiter. Who says so? And I say I saw to handkerchief be now pensuo to even the VIP stand. VIP stand. Kwame, the Becca say, yes, sports presenters no, broadcasters no, aye ye. And you'll be man so it is sellable. Yeah, and co-40, that's fine. And Chimane Eban, Kwame, in Chimane Eban. Omo ewu omo 1999 omanya 24 years yewu omo 2000 omanya sa 23 years no Kwame sa kura we mu na no they say they are marching to the foreign football. If we are country and we cannot decode this na yentimi create system dia ye dey local football no be so mu ama ayo omo da Kwame, I'm telling you say we are living on the edge. By 10 years time, after we struggle and we beg people to come. And has to be continued 500
capacity. No, I'm interested.
This is serious.
No, that is the question you need to ask. GFA maybe to boss. GFA no, the Ghana Football Association. We can't okay? They are able to tell you that the management of football, okay, and yes, central government, Juma. Yeah, no FIFA criteria, but what is their interest?
Okay, their interest.
One more interest in this national teams in the tournament. Near the budget, by no more.
Yes, that's all. That's all. Kwame,
there is no pragmatic measures here because yet they solve the situation on the ground. And then Turkey football club be Papa Ghana. Saudi Arabia football be Papa Ghana. What is their interest?
Adia Bakwa in Kofoka Metiana. Player Exodus,
maybe quick one. Video no na you show Facebook.
Wait,
yes, so be
that time I penaba no. Kotokwane has the that TV solo. This is Kotokwane has.
This is the video.
This is time near Baba Stadium. Oba Panikas the sisi wono. Oba Panikas the sisi wono. Baby, momoto mo boasa mo behume. Baby, he woman na adoko stand ka say so honi na Kotoko supporters. Kotoko supporters the dominating honi na. And the honi na empty. This is about 3 minutes to the kickoff because omo no jo woman na e bonus na anthem. Your bonus na anthem ni wie, your bonus anthem ni wie president I do person you abetra se dada. That time president abetra se because the can is one. This is about 2 minutes as a 3 minutes before the kickoff coming. And you're so sad. And you 2 games and near at the time. President Cup and a league. I account to Echo archives him. Shakotokone has baby yedu. Kwame.
And a chroma issue.
You're good. Kwame. When you chroma issue, you West government pastor na Konfoko Park. Kwame enye obi dwiri no ho e dey aba TV so Kwame yen West government the West the military junta form time on be Kwame na West on be waste Ghana time yet Kwame I'm telling you about fact say you ko park na park yama Argentina he uko South Africa na nko for South African league and for ebo ball 2 minutes bia o their contractor they travel outside the country. The South Africans they went to Germany and omuko sua the module Germany for at the Yom League. The German league this is how they do it, Kwame. In order to curb the player exodus now you can say player people 2 years or shiny no kwabuchino. This is what the South Africans did. Uko Germany Kwame. Team Bia qualified to play Bundesliga 1 and Bundesliga. You can't Bundesliga, just a national. So the BG. What they do is the FA will come, the DFB, which is the FA there, over higher GFA. They will come and do inspection. Who academy, who he tired or mudugare, who teacher for a trauma or pitches at least you should get about 3 or 4 pitches artificial turf they are dry and they are normal a year inches no grass inches there about 3 inches your boss ball facilities we are checking here say players 13 in one register side players no the highest paid player so it be a 50 Ghana cedis yet in the 50 Ghana cedis no any number of years now Obedino so the be chase be on 3 years the 50 cities no ye calculate 50 cities no and they calculate all the players now what sign omo no you say sika no dey make what I say wo dey akoto Bundesbank te say haka Bank of Ghana woman DF before and ahyehyɛ ho aside that they also have something called capitalization that capitalization no before Bobo Bundesliga no ye do sika be dey ato ho so the be say sika ni na wo ho. And what they do is say yes, $2 million. You first can now find show some. You breaking it and you find the pro rata system. It's you breaking it down. It is a 2 million year and do benyano. You breaking it into weeks. It week be near just as you can amount. The Sikan would ya alert echo the DFB and the Bundesbank. It's Appiah Kubi before Wolfsburg. Appiah Kubi before Borussia Mönchengladbach. Appiah Kubi before Schalke 04. Appiah Kubi before Bayern Munich. Appiah Kubi before Werder Bremen. It is said week no sooner sa unkia Appiah Kubi ka. Ni sika week no na ma signal. Say unkia sa branch weka. It is a do third timer. Then the DFB the GFA sorry the DFB no will alert the Bundesbank that they pay say sikana capitalization sikana adekoto hono ne de akwakotua e boy ne ka nipa na ya ni ka eti Germany say Kwame eyi ni ho ye fa de say e kom ni ho say obi ball always say hey mama ka some show uko English premiership beba uko English premiership passport for relegation because of liquidation omuniska ya relegate to omo uko eyi La Liga Malahafo any Hetafe for ne relegate to omuda uko Italy passport for ya relegate to omuda ba uko Germany asadi nisi South Africa for etimi adopted that strategy as I say the minimum player be awo obo South Africa league sika say dey see dutu adeka Kwame ye see ya hanu ya ha say no the minimum salary of obi obo Ghana football abra teams in insurance should get at least about 3,000 a month and that's 5,000 a month. Yes, couple teams nibi. Near some traditional teams nimla community based teams. Kwame, I don't know man confirm some park no. Otwa GFA chairman Adam Fubia one ne koba no akwa catch and say chale football ni sika ba mu eti kono kokko team bi both what team bi feche saa na awie mama na team ni supporters Lagos City Hwan City near do ma ba be she asalam da ho ba bi woni tradition woni supporters eti ni park that is one because Swedro Oblast Gamba Oblast Swedro for who say yes ye die nie come dey make out say uko Techima Holy Stars Techima City na the reason why park ye man say tetoniti so dokotoko hine kan no wose ene yemfa tuo ne sekan enkokon ya de akansie ne kokon Eti doma de bia park ayama.
All right.
De be correct say. Community based, yes am famra biem. Yes am famra. Na GFF starting model. Me making sure say this nonsense that happened yesterday for Fanchami ABCBM Kwame is so sad. I'm telling you, say me sponsor Ghana football and then you can never draw. Me a sponsor Kwame, a headline sponsor. Me sponsor Ghana football.
And another video near.
This is
a match in a course.
Yes,
yeah.
The Ghana version of El Clasico termed the soccer Christmas. Mr. Kwame, nipa when the park boa. Me say me sponsor Ghana Blast a year. I can never draw. Can come tell you say I can never draw my sponsors. Kwame, look at that. Look at that. Shadi Coca Stadium empty. Oko baby to say scoreboard empty. Wait here. It is only the VIP stand Kotokone has. Woke up 2 hours before the game. VIP stand who never been to that. But yesterday, when I read there, they be crowd me, oh Ziga, Ziga Braha, oh Ziga, but a lot of people, they know me. You understand? What is happening in this country?
Nana, thank you.
What is happening in this country? As I said, GFF for no, I'm a pet, a Dumano Kwame, I'm a convert now. Your booster was almost handsome.
But that's it. Come on in answer here. I say now a lot has happened to Ghana in the past. Now we're struggling as a country. Your economy no very, very devastating situation now. We find ourselves as a nation. But the sounds of our time indicate clearly all presidents are yenya. Okay, colonial masters encounter. But every time I gain independence, they are really in the known of the very issues a border on our economic freedom and independence. Ma yentieti amampenya hodo abakoni nyina no na yentie die omoka. We will bring you down to the issues pay your person you raise it. This is Dr. Kwame Appiah.
Is given a chance, he can show to the world that he's somebody. That when the African is given a chance, he can show to the world that he's somebody.
This coup was carried out completely because of the things that had happened in Ghana and because of the tyranny and the despotism of Kwame Nkrumah, the deposed president. Everybody in Ghana was fed up. This coup was carried out completely because of the things that had happened in Ghana and because of the tyranny and the despotism of Kwame Nkrumah, the deposed president. Everybody in Ghana was fed up.
At some point, everybody in Ghana was fed up with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah because of the Air Koso with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah after he became our first president. Now, people felt to say, it drew baby, and near money be not all year. Okay? The dictatorship nature of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, na drew baby as I say or minor and undergo certain changes so that the influence of Nkrumah will be minimized in a country. Now it got to a point coups ever be very, very rampant. But we knew of the very situations at the time. This is a senior citizen.
This coup was carried out completely because of the things that had happened in Ghana and because of the tyranny and the despotism of Kwame Nkrumah, the deposed president. Everybody in Ghana was fed up.
Everybody in Ghana was fed up with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. But today, can we say, you're fed up and with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah? Do we regret? Do we even miss Dr. Kwame Nkrumah? Now, I remember what Nkrumah now. Already also no. And the reasons why now you person you to Nkrumah aban egu. Many of the issues are raising at the bar. What share a year actor or pass a year. Similarly, the CPP became a one-party state, and then Ononkwana ne person rule Ghana. Plus the Preventive Detention Act, a bar, very, very unfortunate. And then he tells you clearly, baby, ayababedu. And the reason why people felt that, as I saw, Mutrong they come a queen, because Kwame Nkrumah, the belief and the strength of mining in the time actually, at some point, Kwame Nkrumah was becoming a dictator. One more Mpen Nkrumah Sema. they criticize him a lot. These are the very things one more eka say Edru baby no Kwame Nkrumah became a dictator or be say onunkwana bibia no wotimi eye. But anyway, Dr. Abrifa had something to tell us.
Build a democratic nation that will give unmistakable evidence of progress in every aspect of our life.
Okay, that is Dr. Abrifa.
Build a democratic nation that will give unmistakable evidence of progress in every aspect of our life.
Dr. Abrifa Buzia, in every aspect of our lives, we need to do certain things. The more reason why I Nkrumah by no a failure, JB Dan Kwame Buzia Munyina came up in consolidating our democracy from the First Republic, this is Second Republic, Third Republic, the Fourth Republic. But quite interesting, maybe I say it seems that a lot hasn't changed, though, because those concerns are not. The good citizens of Ghana, one more when say no more complaining about. Similarly, it seems and where beyond complaining about with the fact that we have a democracy, as they say, in the freedom of speech. A year Jumapa, and then you look at a year the media aspect of it all. The way I yet to liberalizing media, no Obia Canadri, free speech no a year Juma na afeya de kabiba men kebi ana edin komo ebu or my way no. Was that the situation at hand at the time? And we want to shape the perspectives na afeya lower down into baby ayaba bedro say. Now democracy no I have heard a lot of people said democracy no emwa Africans. It is rather no the dictatorship kind of leadership and me abuaye na afe military juntas and so at the discipline near there ebaye. Some would have wished so by this time and Kagana kura me as a coup. Which we don't support, but regardless, it has been part of our political history. And now, it tells you a lot how far we have come as a country. Lima Munyinano knew what was happening to our economy, but in their quest, the question is that were they able to fulfill the vision, the reason why they became leaders of our nation?
The vast majority of Ghanaians therefore now know only too well that such magicians or critics have no practical solutions to our problems. The vast majority of Ghanaians therefore now know only too well that such magicians or critics have no practical solutions to our problems.
Dr. Liman was very clear. The critics of Dr. Liman, said the vast majority of Ghanaians knew those criticizing his government and in Yamani now have no solutions to our problems. But yet still they were criticizing. Does that ring a bell? Sir, and they a baby so party be wa baimu, the opposition party would criticize. Are they only criticizing say one more criticize keke? But really no one more any solution to the problem be one more criticizing now. Is that the trend we've seen in the last year, 32 years or so under this Fourth Republic? Now, say opposition parties will end up criticizing governments in power, but yes, still no criticization no because what we see the less effort in developing and in trying say yen situation to a better Ghana. Ghana ni bia no na ratio musi obetimi we want to wake up one morning and see say yakwan nyina no, especially the major highways connecting all the cities across the country papa. We want to wake up and see say your street lights in no juma. We want to wake up and see say your health system superb. Very, very fantastic among all the other African nations. We want to wake up one morning and see, say, your leadership are transforming your educational sector to a more pragmatic, problem-solving educational system. A better sustaining the future of our economy and our country at large. An educational system a training you how to think outside the box and not just be mere talkatives. The criticisms are ever from the opposition parties to the parties in government, is this just for mere criticism? And now they really have a solution to our problems. It's just like what is happening currently with the NPP and NDC. NPP wa buy more, NDC so one yet, you'll be a buyer, why you be a bon and your papa. NDC so buy more, NPP said you ye biano, and yet do they really criticize because one more solutions the Maya? And I said they criticize because you were multi-party democracy, and they ought to criticize. And now these are very important questions that Dr. Liman ebisa the opponent now criticizing us at that time. But the question again is that after the overthrow of Dr. Liman, what happened? At the end of the year, can we vindicate him with our speech?
The vast majority of Ghanaians therefore now know only too well that such magicians or critics have no practical solutions to our problems.
Very interested. And this is Dr. Liman. Now, from Dr. Liman, that Rollins had something to say after the Janta, 31st December, coup. 1979, but this is what former president, the late Rollins got to say.
We do not glorify the excesses of June 4th, but we glorify its principles, and all of us must remember that principles are principles and they never change.
Kessben. And that is the former president, Jerry John Rollins. 1979, 31st December, and June 4th, revolution, or see, he does not, it doesn't excite him, says idea, but we ought to do that to save the situation because we only believe and in the principles, and they call yes, but the question is that, did it serve us well as a nation? The 31st December movement, the Janta, the maybe you didn't hear him. Listen again.
We do not glorify the excesses of June 4th, but we glorify its principles, and all of us must remember that principles are principles and they never change.
So principles are principles, and the principles will never change. The principle of probity, accountability, but you must say, the excesses are by after the June 4. Former President Rollins said he does not celebrate the excesses. And Crawford said, we do not celebrate as a nation. But principles, the reason why the principle must still stand, and principles will forever remain principles. Principles near probity and accountability. Under this Fourth Republic, the leadership of our country, or no former President Rollins, did he account to the people of Ghana? Ofri Abayemuno, did he account to us? Okay? At the time I will hand it over, in the year 2000, to former President Kofono, did Rollins account to the nation on the excesses? Did he subject himself to accountability? Did we achieve that as a nation, beginning the Fourth Republic, under independence rule? You transition from PNDC to the NDC? Now the reason, the rationale, the principle here, yes, in trying to establish that culture in the Ghanaian society and environment, especially within our body politics, how accountable are our leaders to the citizenry, members of parliament, civil servants, public servants, journalists, okay, nurses, doctors, lawyers? Obiaya accountable, no, we are not. So basically, the rationale, the principle, as a country, basically we have failed. Basically, we have failed as a people, as a nation. You failing accountability and yejuma. Now we find every ways and means to glorify the wrongful things in our societies. A very good example. Obihi Bokrono, Yachino, Auditor General Chino, Afedi, you defend it. It is in recent times, Nayati say, Auditor General report here, just ye nisi kano. But previously, ye nimsen Auditor General report here, Obia Wiesi, Kobia Bokrono, SSA Attorney General, picking up the case and do prosecution on those matters. Now, the point is that we are justifying the wrongdoing and exalting the people who does us wrong as a country in our communities. And the reason here Rollins at the year Sadiano from 1979 at the bar Besibe two Limani de Kaka Honinano. It didn't hold. The principle did not hold to me. And you know, accountability and yejuma. It has not worked. No credit a free ho patriotism and new BM. We do not care about anything else we do as a country. And that is the basic truth. And that is former President Wallace. Now, President Kufuor, interestingly,
we do not get it right with the fast-moving world. Moving into the global village of competitiveness will always be handicapped.
But just one thing here, former President Kufuor, the wise President Kufuor, listen.
We do not get it right with the fast-moving world. Moving into the global village of competitiveness will always be handicapped.
And say I'm possessing ye na yentimi putting yourselves together as a country with a globally competitive economy we will always be handicapped. And this is the wise President Kufuor speaking. And ti kwanya ye fa so ayeye niema ya fa wa ba adwuma ufri se aba adwuma de yambobo ne sekete ensoa wo yetri so. Okay? And ti de pese ye ni biara ye be ni biara saa. The president, former President Kufuor, was warning us. Say ekwanya ye fa so ayeye ye niema no say ye ntimi anse say ye niema yi a ewiase na beko nanim kura agya ye wachire, and that is what is happening. World's economy have moved on. COVID-19 no nya Ghana nko na face COVID-19. Ghana is not the only country you experiencing economic recess. No. Your economy no, we are not the only country above from. Other countries went through similar conditions and similar problems. COVID-19 at the bar. But we are crying more than the bereaved. Okay? Yesunche will be a nini anase sabe nisi yewu as a country. Because yansisa ye ye prior to COVID-19, niema anese ye yansisa niye yanye niye enti yare ne ba ye ne yaboha ya ha. And we are unable to move forward as a nation. They say ye na manchia ni yensa area we as a country. Because ya moye bra ni ye yansisa ye hu ye niema anese ye yanye expenditure anese ye spend on nyina ye sika ne ba ne ye di bonds ane hu hia se ye be raise ni nyina ye raise ye di ye wie the excesses no and it's a COVID-19 no esusu na ba. And President Kufuor was warning us. But ni nyina no yamfa nyasem. Sometimes Nana Frimpong, I'm tempted to believe sir edu baby as a president no one more speech na as a one more kasa ntentem dodo. So for the Ghanaian people to resonate well with the speeches your man penya who do ni nyina ema no ayana ebi mu kra ntiase yi. And these are except of speeches yen presidents who do ni nyina no etimi ame mama in the past, but yet still we are where we are.
We do not get it right with the fast-moving world. Moving into the global village of competitiveness will always be handicapped.
So we are handicapped as a country. Russia, Ukraine war. Aba, yentimi nyahe. Yabo form, yako IMF. IMF no kra negotiation no enko ye. Because enko ye, that is the fact. Enko ye, because conditions are IMF nankasa dia man. We are unable to meet it. Okay? Domestic debts. Restructuring program ayede baye bro ha kasa bebre consultations and necessary minister ne ye and sakra no announce our program ni nyina no wanye ebeda radio 4TM pensioners for sika na modem nsabom. That is the mere truth, that is the fact. Anko ye they say aka external creditors China for anabu esuli ene womusi say ochina womusi say ene womusi say ochina womusi say. What is the way forward for Ghana? Alternative the next option, available option, should we fail in securing an IMF program or mine bede in naso. But in all of that, the former president, okay, Evans Atamos, Professor Eka Sembiti, now you will get a sense out of what we are doing this morning. Former president.
Help us to build a better Ghana. But if this is the kind of behavior, this is the kind of attitude that you have, you are not helping us in any way.
Okay, so speech way. Okay. So speech way. Ebi I won't kai tie speech ni bi. Nana member
help us to build a better Ghana. But if this is the kind of behavior, this is the kind of attitude that you have, you are not helping us in any way.
Yes, the president was very angry. Say obi be ye adwuma was seps. Na ye de na kwakoto port. Na afempon. Obe adwuma ni ma 1 year, 2 years, no atoto cars, was sisi adan. Okay? If this is the kind of behavior, this is how we want to rob our nation, then we cannot move forward as a country. The wise professor told you before his demise, yentie, we are still where we are as a country. Okay? Enti, yen expenditure as a country, offer your national budget, okay? Sika ya sheshesa fimuni nyina yebedi, edo so say sika yebenya. Enti debiya no your budget deficit. And that is it. And even with the little revenues that we make as a nation, and pot and that is what the former president was talking about it. The behavior, the attitude of the average Ghanaian worker within the public sector space, within the private sector space, any kwaya ye fasu ye niyamano, yansisa ye subaya ye bebre. That is what Professor Mills was telling you. And this is common sense. Your president is speaking to you as a nation. Now I ask myself, and pay President Akufo-Addo's speech our bema yadebe. We will file it as part of archives. Near the atoho. So President Akufo-Addo, the speech our Maye 2023 Independence Day parade, as same way na president carry. But the key things, the key salient points are, as I say, you take it out of those speeches in England, you find Yejuma. Professor Mills spoke, but to me, it looks as if he spoke in vain. Because you can't, still within the public sector, chronono air koso, within the private sector, will be a beer juma, what we school, what if ye, who soon, Omamia Breo, Boka, every unya juma yet. Obi me a juma no found so I also call ya chrono with jumanim. The more reason why we are where we are. Obi me a jumani be for because first one I will be a yeno, oba and obe the chrono. And that has a trickling effect on the many other Ghanaian youth who are jobless today. And that is what we face as a country. And that is it.
Help us to build a better Ghana. But if this is the kind of behavior, this is the kind of attitude that you have, you are not helping us in any way.
You're not helping us in any way. Your behavior, your attitude, it doesn't help anybody. As a country, and why ain't ever quite be so? It is our behavior way, our attitude way, and quite when you first see a first on your boy, bra, as a country, dear, and why ain't. And it will not help us in any way. The former president told you, okay, no, Montie. Okay, no, Montie. So these are voices of our time, voices of reasoning, cautioning us ahead of time. So we need to change from A to B. Yansisa, this will be the implication. Yantie, we are there. We are where we are. We are still where we are as a country. But President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in 2017, at the time I year swearing in, Eka Sembia, very, very important. And I'll pay members our tape number. The reason why I'm questioning the fact is say amampenya wodwoni nyina no ehia. Na womo ema speeches na. Speech ni yetia ni track na. Ana yetie speech no efemu aba. Public servant no womo first speeches ni mu aba na. And now we see say a occasion, a process, a procedure. As so mine go through into amampenya kasewi wa kasewi. Let's listen to former President John Dramani Mahama.
We are part of the Ghanaian community. We live together, feel the suffering together. We are part of the Ghanaian community. We live together, feel the suffering together.
And former President Mahama said, "Senyamani nyina anko ya, okay? One more mind paying for no. Anyone wash me no pay." Including myself and any other Ghanaian, we are all parts of the Ghanaian community, the Ghanaian society. You see, the excesses are that, so we are public servant, we are civil servant, we are chief director, we are director, we are chief executive, okay, we are member of parliament, even the president. Your friend is a council of state chairman. Any members of the Council of State, if you are the judges of the Supreme Court, And now we chief justice krana. Adie bi ebeko so a anko yi a wanka. Na one say if you have the capacity to correct those things, one correct here, it will come back to you. Do you know why? The reason is that at the time I will into active service, you will not see what the ordinary person sees. The ordinary Ghanaian on the street, the journalists like us, you feel say you a political party, you feel say you a political party. The realities are that why you active service the realities will dawn on you. It will come back to hit you in the face. And at that time, you will regret so much because you realize that the time the corrective be no time na twamuko. When you su time ni ye, one fine yesterday, and it's our time na twamuko. I want to be who say, "Who drive here? Won you su V8? Wo bomb nema wo sisi be ya." Into ordinary Ghanaian no air complaints are quining you will get to understand. Okay, so we call bank. Next, say we call the long queue. So not tell no. Nipa gu ho be serve woman no. We jai ne telling work na wo ye ne dia to ho so ko di lunch. No obi jina baby o jina telling boot nechi na wo di nkomo at the expense of customers. Abetna bank ho. Wo ko di sa queue ni mo you will understand. They say they won't because you're very honorable. Before Krabi Abedru Bank, or no after bank manager. Arrangement assessor wa yema now you see kana okono we yema woko unko diki neso enti obi attitude that what demonstrate e wo boot ni mo no emfa wo ho say wo ye makeup say wo hwe nanim say wo mia ni phone so you do not care because we are honorable. Special arrangement has been made for you. Waye wasese de amount what you see ka woko abrewani akokra na ote bank na wo sofa yen hwe de yen serve no mane nko no enye wasem. But the point is that at the point honorable no ebe free so now we be free adwuma wo ye maba ahomegye mu no all these processes and nonsense going on in our communities young correct no it will come back to hurt you. That is the reality. Okay, and sa na nyame ye nade. The more reason why for us we will not give up on our principles. And many be aye kan ye bekoso aka we do not care how you would want to name us. We do not care how you would want to call us. Because it is part of our responsibility as citizens. Every right we have goes with responsibilities. And over the power, the authority, the capacity to cause a change. You have the capacity to cause a change in government. You must be a forward-thinking person. Said some problems now won't complain about, it will be resolved. Now, one may fall victim of those same concerns as citizens raise a sin. And that is it. But it can't be so. Say Dr. Liman asema waka say our opponent criticizing. But Ghanaians know very clearly. Say opponents are criticizing in okay? They do not have any solution to our problem. There's an interesting statement former President Mahama Ameki. Okay? You're inviting say Omra National Parade 66 years of Ghana's independence. President Mahama said onko honu ende. Edientia former President Mahama said onko. Was it onko because when him faswa and was also see a best celebrating independence. At the time I yenyenro and fansuso baby senum, and I'll come to that this morning. And the polio no is in shortage. The vaccines are in shortage. Dear Yadesu so no mind to broach one in every one. And running in is in shortage. The health ministry is unable to do anything about it. Kwekwajima menu ye health minister, health committee inviting a wonko. For this reason, former president said, Edientia Yadisika celebrating independence. Na yen from Penro and Fansuso babies no. But the question is that former President Mahama, are you criticizing for criticizing sake? Because who person sabe the president ana? And now we criticizing because your timer and kind independence day no ubekasi mambie mi ana. Is there any track record of you telling us a man may celebrate in 2015 when we were in Dumso, when Ghanaian companies, indigenous companies were collapsing? We still went ahead to celebrate Independence Day. And you were the president of our state. So are you saying, sir, you have a peculiar problem, a peculiar challenge, and it's Independence Day, no mammy and celebrate it. Is that a good justification enough for a statesman of your status, of your caliber, to tell us, Sentobro, Yaria no Edru Adibasu some of Frenum, age 0 to 3 months, and neho until Independence Parade? Is this justifiable enough? So we catch us a polio running the hot until Independence Day. Nana. Can we trust you? Wokasa, Ghana for you because you've been in government before. What were the things that we saw? And I'm basing my analysis on the Dr. Liman Kayen, very profound and sound argument. On any day anybody can make. Are you criticizing because you have solutions to our problems? And now you are criticizing for criticizing's sake. And that is the question I put to the NDC and former President Mahama. And then the Yahoo said, challenges were what? And who hears you baby Independence Day. Now from 2008 to 2016, no, and here celebrating Independence Day, no, and no not Ghana problems, and are solving in Ghana. Listen to the former president.
So what are we celebrating independence when our children cannot get vaccines?
So that is the question he asks. At the end of the year celebrating Independence Day, wabra yenya vaccines, and fans also babies in the num. Okay? Babies in the num, no. At the end of the year, you celebrating Independence Day, ne? Ewo wabra polio vaccines is in shortage, the whole country. Oko hospital be a wunya polio vaccine. That is the question the former president is asking. But in the solution, they say, he must equally come again and answer those questions. Very, very important questions.
So what are we celebrating independence when our children cannot get vaccines?
Actually, that is that. Now, not from Ziga Bebe Musoli, but Mami Mananado Danko Ekufuado so. Now, this will be my last voice I'll play for the day. Sir, my voice where we are. Nana Bebe will go onto the phone lines and talk to other prominent Ghanaians. Okay? President Akufo-Addo in 2017 said something. Okay, Bibi? Na sasem no kan ya mfa anya adwuma. Because me di kan catch your dada. Say yetie speech na. Okay? Yetie ni tra na fa ha na pie. Okay? And similarly, as a woman ankasa nso ma speech ni wi a, womo bobre ani womo tebia ni de wo a womo ye womo niema no, it goes contrary to the speech a womo ma ye no. But let's listen to the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Danko Ekufuado.
I ask you to be citizens, not spectators, citizens, not subjects, responsible citizens, building your communities and our nation.
And why is it that you're criticizing Abaya Musia NDC for? Why is it that when we talk and criticize John Mahama on what he wants to do for this country, why are we using partisan politics to collapse every moral fabric of our society? Okay? This is what the president told us on January 7, 2017, at a swearing in.
I ask you to be citizens, not spectators, citizens, not subjects, responsible citizens, building your communities and our nation.
We are building our nation. As a journalist of my caliber, I'm building my nation this morning. The voices of reasoning. This morning, the president entreats us to be citizens and responsible citizens and not spectators. We should be able to build our communities and our nation. Just to be able to transform our communities and our nation. Why do you come against us as a party in power? Why? Why do you come against us? The voices of reasoning. This is the president's speech on 7 January 2017 at the time I hear swearing in. Okay? This is it. Why do you think, sir, somebody should sit somewhere because you can't say, and you're in favor of the new patriotic party? And he feels the same. We will say it because the president entreated us as citizens, responsible citizens. Today, when we are telling you that the economy is not going well, and you are telling us that we shouldn't say it. But the president himself has said to us that we must be responsible citizens. We must be the gatekeepers, the watchers. Now, Vice President, Dr. Mamudu Baumia voice here, and you get to understand.
I ask you to be citizens, not spectators, citizens, not subjects, responsible citizens, building your communities and our nation.
And this is it. Okay, Mamen Kwahu Manu Sumra, na mene Dr. Thomas Anaba Eni Nkomo. The lack of shortage, and as the shortage of vaccines for polio, any other diseases are aka from 0 to 3 months. Still no what is the way forward for us? The babies who are speaking for the babies this morning. Kwame Appiah Kubi nkwana beka biyama mbodoma no babies no menkwana meka. Nobody else. Doc, I don't pay what you make. Good morning, Kessben Suni. Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Good morning. And Pombo called here.
Yeah.
Very well. So, what are the general implications of the shortage of vaccines? Was say as a country with a year immunization against polio and offensive measles. Now we are told that even with our medical stores, we do not have such vaccines in place. What are we supposed to do as a country?
Thank you very much. And let me salute those who fought for the independence of Ghana. Today is Ghana Independence Day. Kwame Nkrumah and all those who fought for the independence. But very sad today, you are asking me this question about shortage of vaccines. It makes me to have a mixed emotions of happiness for Ghana independence and sadness for the future generation who are coming up to pay the debts we are creating today, who don't have vaccine to save their lives, to be able to secure the name of Ghana at the highest level. It is very dangerous for a country not to have vaccines for its children, especially the 3 vaccines that you have mentioned. Polio, we know the long-term effect would be disability, where the person cannot be able to move and be physically fit for many activities. Measles can lead you, destroy your brain, and make you think you don't function. Your brain doesn't function well. It can even lead you to death, as well as polio. Whooping cough, we know, can destroy your lungs and lead the children to death. If these 3 highly infectious, not that they are highly infectious. If the vaccine is not there, they will be compared to corona. They are highly infectious, and they are much more debilitating in children. It means that they make the children very sick, and probably some of them will lose their lives. Some of them will have disability forever. How come as a country that touts itself of a country moving without aid, be crying for lack of vaccines, when we know very well that this is an elaborate international program which the government doesn't need to think on how to implement it and how to structure it. It has been structured by international organizations and being used by every country. The only thing the government needs to do is to provide the funds. However, much of these funds are provided by donor communities. Much of these funds, not in cedis, but in dollars. How come that they are telling us that exchange rate has caused them their inability to procure these vaccines to save our children? Really, it's a sad day to talk on vaccines shortage in Ghana on the Kwame Nkrumah Independence Day of Ghana. We think that our children are highly exposed. Even adults, I tell you, adults are suffering measles in Ghana today. I have got 2 patients admitted in my hospital about 40 years who have suffered serious consequences of measles in my hospital. What about the children? So I think there shouldn't have been a need to discuss this thing in Ghana at all. Because look, most doctors who have grown and who are currently working have not seen polio, have not seen measles, have not seen whooping cough for a very long time. And this may come disguised, them making wrong diagnosis because they have to reactivate the knowledge about these diseases to treat. So I think the government has done it a very serious harm by not procuring these vaccines in time And also note that the Ukraine war or coronavirus, as their excuse, have prevented the manufacturing of these vaccines. These vaccines are still manufactured. The only thing they need to do is to transfer money and collect them and come and vaccinate our children. So it's very sad. That is why some of us are calling that we don't see how we can be celebrating Independence Day with children who have been vaccinated to march on our streets, while those who have not been vaccinated are helpless for these viruses and bacteria that can attack them and extinct them. I think that we should emulate very good countries like Tanzania, who just recently, 7th of December last year, canceled Independence Day celebration, saved $364,000, and built 8 international model schools for rural communities. How much are we spending for this Independence Day celebration? That if our president tells us that, look, because of shortage of vaccine, we cannot use this money to give to people to come and run on the street, the children to come and dehydrate on the street, and we have to look for ambulances to even carry some to hospitals. Kwame Nkrumah will be very happy if we suspend this Independence Day celebration and buy vaccines for children. I don't think you'll be angry with it. I don't think any chief in this country will be angry with the president. I don't think any opinion leader will be angry. But it is simply because priority is not in their lexicon. That is the problem. We need to prioritize this country. Our funds are scarce. You are going for IMF loan. You have children without vaccine, but you have money to celebrate Independence Day activities. You have money to go and watch matches with a pool of cars wasting fuel to go and watch a presidential cup match. I think we should have to set our priorities well. And my heart pays for the little children, their families, who are going to bear the consequences of the lack of this vaccine. Promises have been made, but they made these promises and they've not fulfilled it. I remember in September we called that there was shortage of vaccine in the north, in some parts of Kumasi. The director of public health in Ghana Health Service told us that in 2 weeks it will come. Where is the 2 weeks? Where is the 2 weeks? It has passed. It's getting to months.
And no one is accounting for that. No one is accounting for that, I guess.
No, somebody must be held responsible. Remember the Sputnik V. We didn't see the Sputnik V and went and paid money. But this vaccine is lying down in a factory, in warehouses, but they are not buying it. How could we pay for Sputnik V? Let's ask the minister. How could you pay for Sputnik V, which was not available, but you cannot pay for measles vaccine, polio vaccine, tuberculosis vaccine when they are lying in warehouses? Where is his priority? And not that you don't have the money. No one can tell me they don't have the money because coronavirus gave Ghana an excess of 10 billion Ghana cedis. National Health Insurance says they are giving government over 60-something million Ghana cedis to buy vaccines. What is all that money doing? And you are exposing our children to these deadly, highly infectious diseases. Not even children, adults. Because you know there is a lot of surge in tuberculosis now. And adults are suffering. What about if a child gets it? Because we play with our children, we go to adorings. Somebody will deliver, we'll all go and greet. Somebody may have it incubating in the body, it's not manifesting it, and this is spread by air. You speak, it comes out, and the child contracts it, and destroys his gut, destroys his bones, destroys his brain. We don't have people, a good water drinking source of water. People eat anywhere, drink anywhere. Polio is spread by that means. You want to infect children with polio. In 15 years' time, we'll have so many disabled people in this country. And that is the time that we have to pay our loans, the loans that we are enjoying today. That is why some of us are calling that this date celebration should have been cancelled and the money used judiciously. Quite apart from that, the Minister for Health is not doing us any good. He's a disaster, but he still maintains his post. How then are other people going to get scared that they should act well?
Interesting.
He punished us in COVID-19 and he's doing the same thing now. It's not an emergency. It's a program vaccination. Program vaccination that means that you have a year to plan ahead. Why didn't he plan ahead? Didn't he know that the exchange rate would increase when they were mismanaging the country and the CD was depreciating? Didn't they know that? that the exchange rate will go up? Don't they have forecasters to know how the exchange rate will go? Couldn't they pay in advance for them to keep the medicine the day we want, we go and pick them, so that the exchange rate will not affect it? Please, I think there is a serious mismanagement in the country, and worst of it is now on health. We shouldn't subject our children to this type of barbarism, because to me, it's just like subjecting them, oh, you suffer, die. We don't care.
Doc, my very last question, but equally the very most important of it all. Now, the question is that what ought to be done if a parent is listening to us this morning and has a baby between 0 to 3 months without this vaccination, and in the absence of that, as a medical doctor, what advice can you give parents who are watching and listening to us this morning as to how to control their babies?
As for the parents, we can't say anything that will make them so scared the more. We advise them that anybody who has a child should limit him from going into crowds. Visiting neonates, we should limit it to their mothers. Improve breastfeeding. And then waters we give to our children to drink should be properly boiled to make sure that if there's a polio virus in it, it will die before they give it to our children who have started drinking water. Okay. If there's a funeral, if there's any gathering and you think your child has not been vaccinated, stay away from those gatherings. Don't be handing your children to people you don't know very well, or limit handing your child to children so that they don't contract these very highly contagious diseases, so that when the vaccine comes, you can now inoculate your child and have the free mind that at least if even he gets the infection, it will be in the milder form, not in the severe form. That is what I advise parents. And also advise them to raise their voices and call on government, their GCEs, to tell their government, their president and the minister to make sure the vaccine comes at the right time, to come as quick, as early as possible to avert any serious consequences in the future. That is what I'll tell them.
Dr. Thomas Araba, I'm grateful this morning for your time. Kessben is grateful.
Thank you, and a pleasure.
Okay. And Dr. Thomas Araba, Anna Meneno at the Kombono, the African Center for Health Research analyst, and Yenena Dean Kombono, bringing us to 58 after 8.
I ask you to be citizens, not spectators, citizens, not subjects, responsible citizens, building your communities and our nation.
Okay. But that's it. And that is the president. Thank you, President Akufo-Addo, Your Excellency. Happy Independence Day to you. But finally, we're a last voice. Nana Frempong, Ziga, Emremo. The realities on the ground, I think times are hard. A lot is happening in our Ghanaian economy. Abina and Kasa facing a lot of challenges. But the good thing is that President Akufo-Addo has admitted Omampanyina and Kasa Jiatumu say challenges, especially when it comes to our economy. The Vice President, let me wish him a very big, happy Independence Day. But I can't forget this voice. Once upon a time, this voice of the Vice President was very, very popular.
Are suffering, contractors are suffering, civil servants are suffering, and farmers are suffering, fishermen are suffering, and industries are suffering, artisans are suffering, and Kayaye are suffering, the disabled are suffering, and men are suffering, women are suffering, and children and Ghanaians as a whole are suffering. Are suffering, contractors are suffering, civil servants are suffering, and farmers are suffering, fishermen are suffering, and industries are suffering, artisans are suffering, and Kayaye are suffering, the disabled are suffering, and men are suffering, women are suffering, and children and Ghanaians as a whole are suffering.
Say Oka Ghana independence as someone. Usha Babia, you free by quiet fast with independence. And your ding a chro and tokwa menteme chaos. Any son no ma Kwame a buy a DG independence. Now you expect to say you better do this level.
Sometimes
we will dig Ghana history.
Yeah.
Who be say scholars Even West Africa here, West Africa, you can scholars. Even Nigeria, Krobukuta, the largest population. When we talk about known, renowned scholars in West Africa, you cannot mention 2 countries without Ghana. Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, University of Cologne, Westphalian University. Kwame just named them. We have had a lot of elements, Kwame. And some Kobudu Munyansa no munim dieboa this country. But Kwame, says here is here. Between trust them with some say a diabo, a bro, and I say poverty, a comp, and a more beer quan will be need a good woman. And as a country, no Kwame, yet to be sinking Kase, I deal with you. It shouldn't be MPP, shouldn't be NDC. And you hear the Naya Sadia, and we have to fight a common fight to achieve this. Come here to me, yes, I did. Say, I was just reading something. Say, we discover cocoa before Cote d'Ivoire. I discover cocoa.
Yeah.
Then Cote d'Ivoire overtook this country as the largest cocoa producer in 1978. We took it back in 1982. By 1998, 2002, Cote d'Ivoire took over. At that time, the difference between the metric tons and Cote d'Ivoire for producing any idea, it wasn't even up to 1,000 metric tons. But today, Cote d'Ivoire only produce over 2.2 million metric tons of cocoa. Am producing 800 and something thousand. We are struggling even to reach the 1 million metric tons now. So you ask yourself, say, now Bama Cote d'Ivoire for there will be a gap. It's a penny for this country. Dr. Busakaradum, Dr. Koto, a year corporate president, Penakio, Omakoya agriculture, whatever. Abobu doctors to Kwame. What can't we do to arrest this issue to change abhorrence? Since you discover cocoa than them. Kwame dear Naba. Show. Shasuma will say Kwame.
Me too.
Cocoa, your friend is saying, cocoa produce. Cocoa produce product.
Okay.
The whole what? More benefit pan. The whole sorry, I just for question. The whole what? And buy $140 billion. The whole word. I dear ye enku. Cocoa ni be a dear enku. Ye dear enku. Ye be drinks. So the biche.
Yeah.
Kwame. Ye be a seminar. Ye be a laka. And the sound of money now. Kwame. Okay, can you need a over 140 billion. Belgium for cocoa Kwame. Belgium and fetch over 1.something billion from cocoa production. You go to US, over 200 and something million dollars. Cocoa.
Yeah.
You get me? So Cote d'Ivoire for now are the largest cocoa producers in the world. I realize that look, as a conform be far nobody acquire idea kakraka. I didn't create a system for South Sikano and Kagan Hasi and Cote d'Ivoire. Now Cote d'Ivoire built $100 million plant cocoa processing plant. Just say Adianwa cocoa near see do call Belgium, Netherlands, US. Yeah, but you did now so that it will compel you to come over the Sika Bontin the better. I don't need to be the Ghana. Kwame, you go and Ghana cocoa board at the count 120 billion Ghana cedis. Ghana cocoa board, Kwame. Cote d'Ivoire. Siko free cocoa production, $7 billion. We are struggling to reach $1 billion this country. Meanwhile, we discover cocoa more than them. We discovered cocoa about 50 years more than Cote d'Ivoire. eti nimdiefo yesi ekọ Harvard nimdiefo yesi ekọ Cambridge Oxford ne noma Kwame etia na Cote d'Ivoire fo ya yentimi debie Kwame
nana
etia pa na sense onum say Meridian we say ade bia enkroma ne others bi di jae no Kwame ya ntimi ahyemu kena ya good ya collapse no ya collapse no pass and gardens in aduma pass and gardens in aduma Kwame enso bi dware ebotai ekoso air condition so ama ban send the impress at the coho odi bi tua light bill odi bi tua water what the flash koto toilet roll etra ho ye huna duma bi a omo ye Kenya obu produce flour keke no Kenya no flour and side issues Kenya timi produce flour export flour worth of $1.5 billion every year side issues from their pass and gardens Kwame what is our pass and gardens doing here
you go to be the Messias airport
Cote d'Ivoire you can say Kempinski Hotel, any other hotels to be Cote d'Ivoire, let me export flour worth of $200,000 near the about this country. Then the parks and gardens are there. Parks and gardens are there, Kwame. We are collapsing everything. The SOEs are not working. Government-owned enterprise, Timia Boka, over 60 million Ghana cedis, Kwame. BBA DJ ya collapse totally you're good in the
Kessben
66 Kessben. Yes Ghana we are still marking time we are still marking time she na me sha de bu ase ye go di ya ka ho ase ni o ka kan conform anka I was reading the documents I realized that General Kutu Champion time when the agreement was signed with the people I saw to go to Ghana, we were earning 42%. Kwame dear pa na buy a dear pa na buy nim dear fois, ye dear jamu, ebesi simple peso yadi. Today, ye dear is about 2%, 40% in a fine, a dear agreement in Quadia machine Kwana since 1970 something. Yet to me, and ye anticipate Yankasiania ye dear, into a general process that thing here. The royalties is about 10%. What we are getting from them directly, is about 2%. 20 years Anglo good a year to know you need $2 billion. You as a country. 20 years, $2 billion.
Kessben.
And I do Ghana confess. And these people are taking trillions away. They are running away with trillions. Omuti sikana, ngoma sa repatriate sikano, eduko mukrom. Eti dia pa na ba Ghana. Nimdie for ye TV so radio so ye kabro for kasiye Kwame. Sister says yes, we are still marking time. Sister says yes, yet and Kofoko hospital confronted the form. I confronted the form of hospitals, Kwame. Yet Yama, Malaysia for Babe discovered you. Malaysia befa abe 1870 something. They came to Ghana. Malaysia, British for do Baha number who abe for the first time. They have taken abe to their country. Today, Malaysia is the largest palm oil producer in the world. Mameka Samuchomo. Malaysia 2022 yearly. Omunya $30.8 billion from adie di enwoye di yedibie yedi yesemina yedi yenku yedi yebibiano omu amase $30.8 billion ye no ombaji palm oil ni fi ye ho na ye nwuni bi no ye ko export bi from ho 1.1 billion oil ye what fi omo 1.1 billion etidia na aba ma Harvard for University of Denmark for Copenhagen University for Kwame Oxford for etidia na yetimentina say yetimentina say omen and your politics. This is our state policy. We have to make sure yen chase Cote d'Ivoire yen ya bend back. Kwame Ebre
na say a good political party.
I'm telling you, close to Kwame the DJ di na ya good na he Tamagani ya J. Your last cup of nations. Cameroon no more semi-finals da. Obi ponko check sabe boa. Cameroon form more semi-finals da. Ya last Cup of Nations as a 4th time in 1982. Today, Cameroon abeji 88. Waba abeji 2002, 2004, 2000 or whatever. Oma Diaba be sign home. They have overtaken us 5 times. Yet your football penny. Clubs to quote to me and flourish. 23 years has a folk Champions League. You probably make Chrome had that. Your football collapse. Sports no, you need to man. Because you ask to tell if I not just say your sports so could and you sent this $750,000 and you call Rio de Janeiro, you call Olympics game, you the zero medal buy a copper alumi cry and phobia ya muso be a question. We are market time. Kwame, a serious country. A serious country being one man as I do say bet me akoswa. Yenya referendum to and I say yenya forum to ask what is going on. South Africa for a vaccine. 2.9. Nigeria for a vaccine. Attacking the future. You can say pandemic biana virus be a baba. Yet you go atamis through. Yet you ma. For besine and pharmaceutical companies. You charge your besine. You create to be bida. And then a working gaggle and a World Health Organization for the Abase. The working gaggle you use from 1920s Kwame. Ya gagula una throat problem. Unya husky voice, unya pharyngitis, unya laryngitis, unya human papilloma. This is what you gaggle to be free. Kwame, and the World Health Organization for say then you free market because it constitutes cancer. And now, Uko Hospital, Dr. Becca Cho say, Kodokobi Akakadu, and I say, so solution. Other countries, they have started doing it. Kwame, Morocco, Fort Dimiati, Airport, and all the Maghrebian countries, they have learned from Morocco. Over the airport, and Framana Eban, over their generating electricity. But part of Morocco area, they don't pay electricity. Yet, yeah, a poino, a Shigupa. Kessben 92.9. Portugal. Yet, yeah, then I just make about this country. Or because of BMW, Assemble, whatever. And yeah, also to sue countries who are Africa, almost they went to Rwanda. Portugal because I'm say, Matthias, Mumba be Assemble, but man, electric cars, I remember mum get. Man, electric cars, I remember mum get. Go and check out what transpired between Portugal and the German government and US government and of course Korea and Japan government. Almost see, it's say European Union of what trans say, but 2030 as a second be used electricity. So they have started introducing electrical cars in Europe. Eti Portugal say me money him beto me masako for sikadi akope oil ama omana besi apene. Na oya hwa bara no ko yesi world market me pesa nonsense netie mumbeje electric cars and famaye o matia say they have started it yet ha and ye ka brofa ka say di che ehunum yet ha no solution. We lack brains. I'm telling you Kwame, this country we lack brains and political will. Brains and political will. 66 years we have failed. We have failed as a country. Me obia baby I met challenge Mecca. Interchange this year SCC no Kwame. And it don't come baby ebi ho. Ye you rosa ye bi ho Kwame. Me said ye so ma Ghana ho tono ye digigu ye fru so ya ye planting for food and jobs ye tibi to kala will ring and ye ferry. Planting for food and jobs in your maya near 4 5 cities and the fufu you 5 cities. What to be Musa question? What can you be this year? Go continue. Who be sabe? I can see. Maybe a cody the mammy so 5 cities. What that is 7 cities. I was Coconde. Baby a cody the mammy so 5 cities. Fufuana make Fufu 7 cities. 7 cities. Me want to practice for food and jobs by a tia now practice 4 cities. What every racket to be on 24 cities. 37 million hospital. Kwame. What Kwame Boni, I could feel Boni, Kwame Miracle. No best. I said to have you. What the first is? Is that what no. What the 5? What the 5 cities in 10? I don't cry a circle. Sacrum for no. Sacrum can never and baby for now, but not a motor for transplanters. ekotena e cantonment na bonze say akwa be say shishipa Ghana for you what it
I never call him,
but
things will never be the same.
Now, Kwame mi busasa banche no ya krafi Ukraine and Russia hono eba.
Get to the yanko.
Abusia yamfa binya sede na oman Ghana no ye kase di akira de bia no ye were be ho pa. Nyankopon so hu ye mabo. Abusia ma memfa nwa dwamu a enema hodo bia badwa so esa me kire wo na ena akwakoye fofidai. Wo so di akire na akopɛ bito na me de ukɔ de di kan Grace Gift Herbal Clinic. Grace Gift Herbal Clinic and Laboratory Services. Wanum akache and an opay medu eura. Eyetia or sebra na badia yare any ayarsa. Why ya dear how why ya dear bia do crono. Grace Gift Herbal say an intentembra and phoning trebe bia and could ejawadro. The ose oye nyina anie. Wo stroke ya dear esichi ya dear diabetes how Bama and oba wuntim enwo. No kwasem ye Grace Gift Herbal so ba. Wabemo bidro anum onomwa. Yade na ha unyina tete wo ne be fini padua ne mu ama ho ato brama u prostate a ho atechema cancer ene ababedamo u prostate no aye kase aye se pipe mu so ehwiegu no me sro Grace Gift Herbal so ba u prostate no obepe ho asema kan ma wo ama wo so ho ato pa bema ama ho ato afetie me oba no kwasem nie fibroid ha wo Grace Gift Herbal se nko ba bia me emfa sekan ko kan fibroid no bra odi an se obeba bra oba o fibroid no obebo bibidra no ma ono mo a wo so ho beto pa me ba cho Grace Gift Herbal na chia kwan enye ensonsode wo kumase ohwim school Johnson wore wani ache barka se kwan so ono a wonom e wo ho wo enkran ya me ba cho bra new atemota enkran new atemota wonom e wo petroleum air banglo ho no a anase Omone Family Life International School no ene di ahwe mba cho fe number sisi ene enko yanim frefre sisi 0244 126 123 0244 126 123 frame na ye no antwetwe nkomo afei medo eko Hard Builders Real Estate say ene ye holiday ene ya for fida sonko de mo man Ghana na for fida no won so sika kakra waboaboa no wo se bra no mo asase nto won mo tete nsase a won mo eton etimi so pass asase ato a Hard Builders Real Estate se nyabotre ne bra mo dwosuo na ba o mema asase a manso ni ho asase a won to a won langas eton kwanta mapai enu bi ana oton ama won to e die ayasam de wo enkan hanom nko ana pass asase a wo beta woni langas enya asem bia no a Hard Builders Real Estate se oba won beboa pa na won sase no wotete bi awo ningo pram Tripoli ena afi so Shy Hills ho nyina no won sase ni bi ho ma wo metete ede ma omanfo nyina na ensase no range free 15,000 ene kopem 20,000 so ho ba ne nyina no won bema bi ato eson se osipa no won bema bi ato pa enti ya no wasa no so wose sempo uni 15,000 ana 20,000 na de to on plot ni bi a odi ya ne so de obeba oba ukra 8,000 won ebema plot no so hu na won ma obosome enson na de akare nyina wachuachia ne kakra won beba ho so no na won so nya plot a wodi AC wudan na sa wodi si ufie no enti wei abusunya ayensempa be so wa yemfa yani enchemu e wo Hard Builders Real Estate won ma jesu na won ema yensase ento ho adwo pa me ba cho fa pani pipa na tro do your number ni sisi 0241 665200. Mami see a number is being found 0241 665200. Friend number is CA na ye no antwetwe komo na ye mo papa na me de ukọ multi credit savings and loans limited wo ma ahwe ye na anopai waseme nkan tro se nyame ya domo na ye holiday so hu e kina wonom be ye adwuma na multi credit savings and loans limited se wonom e mo bosia ana ene omo edebo medical catch order da sa brabo aye boyi eye empaibo bosia ene eneden ene ye de tena wiase nti me sro so unya bosia ne bi na de be ye adwuma papa nko be boa nko ade a be ba chaw multi credit savings and loans limited say obejo bosia ne bi a eye tietie asundwe nko a na we no sa bosia nya ba akofo bosia eye group loans dodo bosia na multi-force monkam humum enipa num enipa nson enipa nkromomra na wonom ema abosian bi na agya mfa nkwa emadwuma na tie wose bosia na omode ma no interest rate ni nsi ho na wofom ai nsi ho na wofom nti uje bosia ne bia ekoyie pa na wose me mfa nto anim se wo ba baje bosia na achare ya 14 to 21 days na bosia na krado a woje na ori akwakwa edwuma mpacho bibia ni a One year monk come off 2 for edidi so yi 0277 712 888 0277 712 888 friend na ye no emon come me pa chaw me do e ko francophones wonum adwosuo na francophones de ye tom so na ya sode wonum na akɔfa mobile phones aye papa aye codet abadwama so na tie wɔsese Nokia na wopɛ Samsung na wopɛ iPhones na wopɛ say smart TVs a range from 32 inches at the copem 55 inches ni nyina no oba Franco aye enterprise ya na say Franco trading enterprise ya wo benya aye niam ya mabobɔ so nyina o pɛ phone be kyare ama wo nya China phone da bi Nokia phones wo mu obi Samsung wo mu obi iPhone smart TV ni nyina no oba Franco trading enterprise ya wo benya on product nyina bi e honom na wato na adigisam enka nyame say enei sa phones na opo TV na opo one born air for papa one born at the form din tinei utimi top phone bia wom ho ti so open Nokia phone papa Samsung ana iPhone smart TVs and pacho for nichiro honum afei Franco air conditioning so one mark of bi diaba na ye papa open air conditioner ebe bo kama nyunu office ya me pacho Franco air conditioning ye diaba enti a range from 1.5 horsepower afei 2.0 horsepower and 2.5 horsepower ni nyina wo makofa bi e dia ba wono e de ema wo bo e da from papa enti so ko nekotobi na o number nie wo betimi afra Franco enterprise e wo matufo yi so 0246 422 338 mami so no number no so bi mfama 0246 422 388 anase 0555 939 311 me ba cho mami sisu biem fama 0555 0555 399311 offer a Franco trading enterprise number ya wonum ebeje ofeso na wonum ama afonso papa air condition afei so no eye smart TV sato na wako anim afei mame ema wodrowe enom wate na holiday we no yemfa yade ani sa utiem na no pai na malaria ababedwa so malaria abedwa so waye mre enkrofo sorokọ emiamia hodo nyina no won so enewda empam se tim me ba cho aduro we na me kan fama wo eye oprosini na duro no imbus heba mesha tieni ni ye pa imbus heba mesha oprosini no an wasanso ya duro kan ho eti se malaria pa na ha wo wanyum ayo nyonyonyo na holiday na mfufo agbadem omo edidie na mo ji omani won kwa wakampa mu a me ba cho no prosini na duro no ebebo pa wo ya adwuma kakra bi no abre usisi no aposo ya oya mesraw onum eye prosini na duro no ebebo pa na enamu yade de etu ase pa say gonorrhea say syphilis de num prosini na duro no imbus heba mesa eno na ebebo pa me ba cho duro enye na pharmacy shop drugstore over the counter na be won okwa also prosini na duro no ubusa pe yebeyi bia ma onom a yade amabobo so nyina etu na se entimi so ya no wasa nso sa de ampa cho na mani efra yen ye 0246 0246 208496 0246 208496 na ye no entwetwe nkomo na ye mo ema won so ya de no ye ntu na se doku kuma emfa ma afa Kessben travel and tour say won mu do tu kwan ene Ghana ye nya mfinhia de osiansia then so still trouble no a how no da so mu be ba cha obe so free Ghana ha ekọ aye amanone se France na pese okọ Australia na pese okọ Canada na pese okọ America na pese okọ UK na pese okọ anopai eye tietia Kessben travel and tour se bra usika na wanyana mfa nkomo obi no connection man won fa usika no nyana me ba cha sa wo usika na koma connection man no na wo frɛ Kessben fia se enei connection man aju usika dia me mfiu it me pa cha bra Kessben travel and tour so ma dwesuo kuro bia pese okoso bia no wonum ade obekɔ fa omo no ba free Ghana hanom ama won so bia etima koso mpa cha frɛ your number is here 0596 0596 102667 0596 102667 pacho offer number is so didi so 0596 102908 offer number imu bia no a Kessben travel and tours wa mo so mo du betu kwan Africa ha ama wa kwantu no so no Kwame aye dwedwo kama edi ama
Lazim me that say thank you very much right but this is our culture You my yentiesa documentary no na afei yemra yem birthdays no so na yen wrap it up na yen fancy ma yentie na yemra. Indeed, it's a beautiful documentary and yende gayeni nyina no and the bebro subsequently in the Ghana man, this is our Kessben. We are celebrating with you the month of March, Independence March. Now, I don't pay special happy birthday. I'm so shocked the number of people celebrating their
happy birthday.
Yeah.
Sanity na Kwame.
Yes.
And as you see, your my former first lady.
Okay.
Lordina Mahama.
Okay.
And then the birthday.
The birthday.
And then the birthday, honestly, you're celebrating. And Archbishop Duncan Williams. Also on the.
And then Papa birthday.
Papa birthday.
Okay.
1957, yes. 1957.
Okay. Happy birthday. And let me wait. Engineer Kwame Appiah Kubi, presidential candidate hopeful of the New Patriotic Party, former general secretary of the New Patriotic Party, former press secretary to President Kessben. Engineer, and your birthday. In fact, you're a true statesman. Happy birthday to you, Papa. And we celebrate you in a grand style. Your principles, your humility, your dedication to the nation's development. It's so overwhelming. And I pay it's a Radisha when you're Kessben. Happy birthday to you. God bless you so much. May all your dreams and aspirations come true. Your vision to become the president of Ghana, may it be fulfilled on a day like this. Happy birthday to you, Engineer Kwame Appiah Kubi, from us here on the Kessben Maakye Morning Show. And I pay the entire team wishes you a very big happy birthday. God bless you, Engineer. Namin wishing Sport Commentator of the Year, Focus Media Awards nominee, Vincent Doku of Kessben Sports. A very big happy birthday. I ran to with Obreno Wasipa. Original
said Medumano. I know Tima commentary 2 minutes. Japan can see the 2 minutes in your bone.
A very fantastic guy. Listen, Doku, I don't pray. God bless you. May the face of the Lord abide with you and forevermore. God bless you so much. I don't pray we celebrate you. We thank you for your dedication to the company. God grant you the strength and wisdom to carry on your duties. Happy birthday to you, my brother. My main wish is happy birthday Clark Oklu, we celebrate your birthday today. I don't pay because you pray for them. Say you wish you a very big happy birthday. Regent Clark Oklu, it's your birthday today. I don't pay. God bless you so much, my brother. It's your birthday. The least we can wish for you is God exceedingly blessing upon your household and upon your life. May you enjoy and celebrate your new year with abundance of grace and favor. Happy birthday to you, Regent Clark Oklu. God bless you. And let me wish this humble, beautiful lady, very, very unassuming, a very big happy birthday from the Kimpa Law Faculty. I pray my man wish Hilda a very big happy birthday. Hilda celebrates her birthday today. Very beautiful, very unassuming, very kind. She put up all the smiles. I pray happy birthday to you. May the favor of God abide with you for now and forevermore. God bless you. With your new age, we pray for prosperity, good health, and the Lord's abundance of grace follow you for the rest of your life. May you see the goodness of your new age. Radisha, when you're kissing, happy birthday to you, Hilda, my good friend. And let me wish in Shuraba Ajua Tina a very big happy birthday. Ijaba, Anope, you celebrate your birthday. Say God bless you. Grant you favor, grace, and wisdom to journey on in your new age. God bless you. Happy birthday. Coming with Vera of University of Energy. A very big happy birthday. Vera, your pages start to pay again. Wish you a very big happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. God bless you. And enjoy your day in a grand style. Yeah. Let's check out of here. How good I wish you at?
Kessben 92.9.
I am poor and I am focused. God bless you. Thank you for staying with us. We want to appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Happy Independence to all of us. We need to Kwame Appiah Kubi on behalf of the production team. Led by Kojo Peko Damko, head of production, Richard Appiah Sapon. Technicians on duty and directors on duty, biggest and the team.